Greetings, humans. It is my pleasure today to welcome you to the world of Petrolith. High seas, Hijinks.
Hey guys, just a quick reminder before we get started. The Tavern Gaming Guild app, or Tavern GG, is live since a few days ago. So make sure that you check it out, see if it's for you. It's a party finding app that will allow you to find people to party up with. No more scheduling conflicts, no more awkward games with your roommate and his girlfriend and some dude that lives on the couch. You can find people that you match with well and play awesome games. So stay safe out there, and we hope to see you at our table. Last time on Petrolith.
Don't worry, we're all sailors. We know about pooping over deck.
You thought you had me there, didn't you, Rob? You thought you were going to get your devil back.
Carl swan dives off the side of the boat.
And there's also a series of levers sticking out of the ground with knobs on the top of them.
All right, everyone, I've figured out how to pilot the ship. So, what's for dinner?
She has that sort of seething inward anger of somebody who had a chance to fix everything wrong in their life and lost it.
I ask her, Elisa, have you ever considered the gods' place on this plane?
Why would I bother? I don't consider a butterfly's place at the bottom of the ocean. They left. They don't belong here. We don't need them.
Well, I'd say some of us don't. You might fall into that bucket. But I wouldn't say they've completely gone either.
Well,
How do you feel about the direction of your life currently? I mean, it seems like you were just fine working as a merchant assistant and taking wares across the ocean, but I sense you may want more.
yeah, I was totally fine working as an indentured servant for the Merchants Guild. It was a great life. I got fed stale bread, got to drink questionably potable water. Occasionally they would throw me a scrap of something, which weren't bad. I suppose some people have it worse. Although the direction of my life right now, I'm sitting in a brig being questioned by a tiefling that's acting like this is some sort of after-school special. Surprised you're not sitting backwards in a chair.
I'm surprised you're not still under my friend's bottom, but here we are.
Well, I'd probably be dead if I was. That man was thicker than a Snickers, I'll tell you.
Well, I'm trying to consider what we're going to do with you, honestly. Do we turn you over? Do we drop you off on our next port? What can we do with you? It's not like you're going to be able to navigate your way back here, but what's next?
Well, if you're asking my opinion, I'd rather you give me 100 gold and send me on my way. If you're asking me what's realistic, drop me off wherever we make port, as long as you don't drop me in Grand Grom Harbor, and preferably, if anybody asks about the boat, say you killed me and dropped me overboard.
Well, I'll ask my companions, but you may have to cut it with 50 gold. And we could maybe let you be. But
You
don't
can't
take
be
my word on it
serious.
now. Well, the crew's dead. What are we? We can hold you accountable, or we can take into account that you've been possessed just as they have. Either way, I don't see what value there is in turning you over.
You're an odd one, you know that.
Well, I've had trouble in my own times. I see that there's hope for everyone, so maybe don't count the gods out yet. Think on it.
Well, I've got nothing to do but think sitting here, so. And at that point, you see Joseph carrying a huge tray with dishes all over it, carries it past you to the stairs and starts heading up towards the deck.
I'll I'll catch up with you later. Maybe I'll snag something for you as well. And I follow him up.
She doesn't really say anything. She just watches you leave. So you head up onto deck. I'm assuming Joseph's gonna carry the trays up the last set of stairs up to the bow, where this really nice little outdoor dining patio is set up pretty much. And Blueberry's just following, waiting for him to drop something. As you guys are eating your delicious meal of steak, potatoes, and
Barnacles.
some sort of shellfish, barnacles, mollusks. I'm not mussels, maybe? I don't know. But you guys are all eating. And Captain Harold, in between bites, looks around at all of you and goes, "So what's the plan here? What are we doing? We still have to go to Thar Duk. We've wasted, well, not wasted. We've gone off course quite a bit, time-wise. Not that I don't appreciate all the help.
No, we get it. You got shit to do. If you gotta get to Thar Duk, I think we gotta get to Thar Duk.
Well, I figure we have a couple different options there. I've got a ship full of goods that are headed to Thar Duk. You have two ships that are not expected to be anywhere near Thar Duk. So I think it might be best if you can figure out how to sail that ship of yours, that you take those two ships and we meet up later."
An interesting suggestion, Admiral. I think we were hoping that you would come with us and discuss a commercial venture in the future, but if we have to part ways for the moment and meet up, I may be able to figure out a way to pilot this ship in and of itself. It seems to have been designed to be a great deal less complicated than your sailing ships there. But rather than, I suppose we could just sell these boats when we make it into harbor somewhere else, but as far as an ongoing commercial venture is concerned,
well,
I would certainly like to talk to you in the future, but you know.
And like I said, we'll meet up after. I have to drop this load at the dock in Grand Grom Harbor. I wouldn't recommend showing up in Grand Grom with that there fancy sailish ship, nor would I recommend showing up in Mortelia with the ship that belonged to the Manticore's Bite. Seeing as how
do you have a suggestion then? And some quick tips on navigating the high seas? Does anybody know how to work an astrolabe? I think that's what it is.
I know how to sail.
Oh, right. Yes, delightful. Well, you should be able to navigate us to shore then. There must be some sort of chart here from the former captain of this vessel, and the last one.
We can keep going the same direction until we get within sight of land too. We just don't want to pull into together.
No. I'm sure we would appreciate that, and if you have an alternate harbor where we should drop anchor, as it were, we're open to suggestions, I believe.
I'm consulting my charts.
Yeah.
If I can find them.
Yeah, well, and we need to discuss at some point what all is on these ships.
Well, we had textiles on this one that were bound for Viridia.
Right. And there's a bunch of furs in that locker that lady, that Alyssa was supposed to look after. But we're apparently going to set her ashore with 50 gold in her pocket and a handshake, which is fine. So there's everything that was in the special locker, and there was whatever was on the Manticore ship.
I seem to have lost me charts.
Need to drink more.
So, what is our game plan? Like, once we land, I know we have the ships, we've got the cargo, and it'd be nice to make a couple bucks, if not keep. But what are we doing once we land? Because I think we just kind of flew the coop. But do we have a direction? So that can maybe help us plan where we're gonna be.
I
Not
don't-
that, no.
Yeah, I don't think we do. We're just kind of out here. We're out
Okay.
here.
Well, maybe we
Um,
can game plan on the back end on a separate chat from GM. We might be beneficial.
Oh, we want to bring back our secret chat?
Yeah, I think it might be ideal if we're gonna kind of like direct
Win this game?
our plans. Yeah.
Sad, sad panda. Grand Grom Harbor is the only harbor in Thar Duk.
What the fuck?
The rest of the
There's gotta be
coast,
more than one harbor.
the rest of the coast is, at least where the cities are. The rest of the coast is rather inhospitable due to shallow ocean floor depth, rocks, poor weather, a few other reasons. Excuse me.
There's a whole continent and there's only one fucking harbor on it?
Yeah. I mean, not. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, continents are real big, Rob.
Yeah, it's a really big port. That's why it's Grand Grom Harbor, not Pretty Good Grom Harbor.
Well, that sounds like we're going somewhere else.
Well,
Perhaps a
he
body
said
of land
not to
with
show up. He said not to show up in Grand Grom Harbor with the fancy ship. But what about the Manticore's bite ship? Maybe we can go pick up a crew.
and then bring them back here, and then see what we can do about the sailless boat. Yes, that actually sounds like a rather smashing idea. So we just need to find some place to park this boat here, and then go into the harbor under sail power. Yes. As for our general moving forward type of goals here, Izilla, I'm at a bit of a loss. We've had some good, interesting success here so far, trying to thwart these Numor cultists, what have you. And we could continue on to that vein. It's been reasonably profitable, except for the whole wanted by a whole continent thing. Or a rather large island,
hopefully-
anyways.
Hopefully news doesn't travel.
Well, I'd be very surprised if it did. It doesn't seem like the law in Port Lomax might send bounty hunters or something after us, but if they do, then we'll dispatch of them like we did those dreadfully corrupt town guardsmen earlier. I'm not too worried about that.
They might have already sent bounty hunters after you.
Well, then they can step up and get knocked back down, as far as I'm concerned. We didn't have trouble breaking out of the flimsy little prison, and well, if they're good bounty hunters, then they'll have a bunch of good stuff after we off them, and if they're not very good, then they won't trouble us too greatly. Listen, I'm more concerned about these cultists. They seem to pose something of an existential threat, no matter what continent we happen to be wanted on, as it were. And I'm sure if we can thwart them and credibly, brag about our deeds in doing so, then we might be able to get something of a pardon back home. If anybody wants to go back to Viridia, I shouldn't have much of a problem. We don't really hold up with the greater law enforcement sphere where I'm from, but, if any of the rest of you want to ever go back.
Yeah, I
My
have no
people
ties.
don't care about anything else, so I would be going back up to the mountain.
Right. So I think we're fine there, but as far as a general direction to go in, more death cultist thwarting, piracy, we could become pirates. I'm not really sure about this whole ocean thing, certainly, but we've got a boat and I'm willing to give it a shot. Not sure what you want to do here.
Well, my thought is, because the cultists are definitely a threat, as you have pointed out. My thought is we figure out exactly how far their reach is, kind of do a little bit of digging in Thar Duk, and then kind of come back and regroup. Just to kind of get a game plan from there. Does that make sense? Figure out what's going on in Thar Duk, and then we can figure out where we're going.
See if they've spread all the way over here, as you mean.
I don't like the idea of pirate. I don't like picking on the weak.
We could be like
Listen,
Robin Hood pirate.
What? What kind of hood now? Is that?
It's an old elf
people.
children's story, but basically they steal from the rich and they give to the poor.
Well, there is a thought. I mean, we were a bit already doing that with this boat here. I'm sure some very wealthy people are going to be missing their property once they believe it's at the bottom of the ocean. But I hear you, Mongo. A life of crime doesn't sound like it'll be very entertaining for very long. Either you get successful and you get a bunch of money and you don't know what to do with it, or else you get thrown to the sharks by the authorities. So it was just a suggestion. I don't really know what else to do. But at least if Harlequin is online with finding out more about these death cultists, we know some of their operating procedures and some of their signs, and they were operating semi-openly out in Viridia. They weren't really disguising their surface activities too hard. And if they're trying to recruit amongst impressionable academic student types, we already know where to go looking for them in Thar Duk, presumably. There must be some sort of Institute of Higher Learning around here, even if it's some sort of mine engineering school.
Well, all with following up on the cultists, we are going to have to figure out where we're taking this boat, if there's not another port to land in Thar Duk, or we could just find somebody to take it back out to sea, and after that they can try catching them with the boat.
So what I'm thinking, as far as the boats go, because we've got two, and I mean, while we could totally sell one or both, we could also, just as easily keep one or both. And I say we take the Manicore's Bite boat, go to the Grand Port, Grandpa, Grandparents, whatever.
Grand Grom.
Grand Grom, yes, Grandma. And, restock its stores, offload some of the cargo from both of the boats, collect a crew, and maybe kind of an overfledged crew, that way we can actually use the fancy boat as a home base, and this is a shuttle. Does that make sense?
Have a floating keep.
Yeah, let's go pick up a crew.
This sounds like a smashing idea. And meanwhile, whilst in Grand Grom, under other auspices, we'll be able to do some research. Yes. And Azil and I can play the visiting scholars should we find an institute of higher learning and make sure there's no death cultists there. Yes, this sounds smashing. We'll just have to ask the good captain here, Captain Harold, how to get where we can stash this boat for a while, because I certainly want to keep this boat. I'm going to figure out how this bloody thing runs if it kills me.
Kills you.
If it kills you. So it sounds like the plan you're gonna tow the Manticore's Bite ship into harbor and into Grand Grom.
No, we're gonna sail it
leave
into
this
harbor.
Yeah, we're leaving this offshore.
We just need to find a place. Now,
Right.
Tommy was talking about like a place with mangroves that
You
we
guys-
could potentially
yep.
store.
Yeah, that is the Copper Grove is where he was talking about stashing the ship. Because you can anchor it out there, it'll be easy to find for you guys. You might want
So
to
I have,
leave
like,
a couple of his crew just to keep an eye on and make sure nobody comes aboard.
I agree.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Yeah, let's tow the Manticore's bite. We need to name that damn ship. But tow the sailboat to the mangrove area and then sail the sailboat into port. Oh, hey, Admiral, we've never met you before in our lives. Collect a crew, sell some stuff.
Yes, that sounds smashing, especially if there's any cargo on the Manticore ship. Or, yes, we should probably wait to offload the cargo from the steam ship here.
Find a
There's,
good
some
inn
of it.
that we could go drink and sing and be merry.
Yes.
I like
Maybe
Yes,
I'll find
just all
some
of that.
Goliaths.
There wasn't a lot of like tradable goods on the Manticore's bite ship. It was mostly
Okay.
equipment for, it's not a merchant vessel. They brought it out
Right.
to hunt your ship down.
Well, that makes sense.
Okay, so we'll transfer cargo over to the Manticore.
Oh
Once
no,
we
let's
get over
not
to
do that. Let's keep the cargo
cove.
unless it's perishable on the steamship because it might be recognizable if the company, like they might be expecting that cargo. Like there might be some merchants expecting the cargo from the steamship in Grand Grom.
No, because the steamship was heading to Viridia.
Yeah.
Was it heading there from
Yeah.
Grand Grom?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and they wouldn't have known
Okay, then-
that it's been
Which
disrupted.
Which
Good.
means that the merchants who tried to send it to Viridia are in Grand Grom and might recognize their goods. I say we take it to a third point at some other point in the future.
I
And
agree.
just leave it on there.
Okay.
It'd be nice to have all that money, but let's not do that.
That would probably be a bad idea. Almost as bad as showing up in Grand Grom with their ship.
Yeah. Because then people might think we pirated this ship and stole all their shit. So, that's my vote anyway.
Yes.
But otherwise, yes, let's park this thing in a mangrove swamp somewhere, and then take the Manticore's bite, which we really have to rename, and then fix that ship up so that it doesn't look like the ship that it is anymore. Like pulling a car into a garage in GTA and just getting a new paint job.
Yeah, what
Yes.
exactly does make this boat so identifiable as Manticore's bite? Is it
Um,
flat?
No, it's like the whole style of the ship, the figurehead, the masts, the size of it, how the upper deck is like set up and decorated.
With
It
some
would-
creative carpentry, I'm sure we can get somebody to make it so it's not recognizable as that anymore.
Yeah, it definitely wouldn't be like an insurmountable task to hide it, but it is recognizable as it sits.
Well, if anybody asks us, we totally beat the Manticore's bite and stole their ship from them, which is exactly what happened.
Hey, sometimes the truth.
Well, if anybody asks, until we can get it recarved.
Well, I know Brinox was apprenticing in his carpentry. He might appreciate.
Oh, that's right,
some time
yes.
To work some artistry out.
Oh, that'd be great. We should have him make the figurehead. That'd be cool.
Ooh, and I do leatherworking, and we've got that Hydra skin, and I totally make a body harness. I learned a lot when I was with the fairies, guys.
A body what?
A body harness?
Okay, that's what I thought you said.
Yeah, for the figurehead.
Oh, that's
Don't put leather on a piece of wood that's going to be exposed to the sun and a bunch of salt water. You'll just ruin good leather.
It's a Hydra hide.
Waterproof.
You know, hydras do live in water. That's why they're called hydras. So, that makes sense.
What are we gonna name this ship? We should probably do something about naming it. Manticore's bite ship is now.
the Hydra's tail.
Mm-hmm. How about the hydra's breath? As long as we're going with exhalation-themed nautical vessels here. We've got the siren, the horse siren, and we've got the hydra's breath. I don't know.
I like Hydra
Sounds
breath.
good. Yeah, me too.
Are you gonna name the merchant ship?
We should probably name the merchant ship as well. Zach, I think you should absolutely take point on naming this one, but I think it should be along the lines of like Phantasmo or something, something absolutely ridiculous.
I thought it would be funny to call the electric boat the electric lady killer or something like that, but Reginald needs to discover electricity before he can even parse that suggestion.
The Lady Gargantua.
Yes, that's not bad either. Yes, let's we should probably have the bard be naming our things for us. Lady Gargantua sounds pretty good for now.
For what it's
yes.
worth, I'm looking in the Goblin to Common dictionary, and Garrett Gur
Fascinating.
means Slayer from the skies. Generally used to refer to manticores.
I wonder who compiled that particular fictional dictionary. Fascinating.
So you mean to say Gertie?
Gertie?
Lady Gerd.
Garrett Gur.
Anyway, I'm all for the Lady Gargantua, but we can. Okay, so we figured out the first boat, and that's the one we need right now.
Yeah.
Like, no, this is definitely a sovereign ship that has been named the Hydra's Breath since its building in dock. Yes. Right. So we have a ship, and we're going to park another one in a fetid swamp somewhere, and then we're going to go to Grand Grob and figure out what's up over there. Maybe somebody else there was willing to give me a little primer on these smokeless lights that they've got.
Should we tow the manticore's or the Hydra's breath behind Gertie, and then just start making our way?
Yeah,
To
let's
the
make
mangrove?
our way to
Yeah.
shore doing that. Yeah, and then drop Gertie, I guess, the Lady Gargantua off in the swamp, and then Captain Harold can tow the Hydra's Breath over to Grand Grom.
Well, you guys were going to sail in
Sounds like a
separate,
plan.
weren't you?
I guess so. If we can figure out how to sail it.
Well, Mongo can.
Oh
give
well,
us a
no,
crash
yeah, no,
course.
Mungo knows how to operate sails. Yeah, you're right.
Well,
We're
and not only that, like, you guys have been on a ship for a couple weeks. I'm pretty sure you've picked up enough to, like, maybe not sail it on your own in the open ocean, but you could probably follow someone and then, like, lag
Okay.
behind at the last however long. Okay, so you guys sail to the Copper Grove. Zach, you roll me a... Not investigation. Tinkers? Roll something.
Oh, Tinker's tools? Yeah, I've got Tinker's tools.
Yeah.
That's 19, and I think my bonus might be 11.
Yeah. Yeah, you figure out pretty well how to pilot Gertie in the time that it takes you to get to the Copper Grove.
What is with all this dreadful copper wiring in here? Can't figure out what it's for and what it's coated in. What if I strip off the... Ow! What was that? Fascinating.
1,000 volts is what that is. So you anchor Gertie and also maybe like lash it to a couple mangroves just to really be sure. You could leave Joseph behind. You might want to leave Elisa behind because she doesn't want to go into
Yeah.
Grand. And
Yeah, she's kicking rocks here. And
Zilla, do you think those two will be
first.
all right on the
I
ship
was-
by themselves?
Yeah, I was gonna say they might murder each other.
Maybe it might be more advisable to...
I was wondering if Mongo would maybe let us use his pocket boat, and we can just land her ashore, and she can set her own sword out.
In the middle of a swamp? Well, I can't...
Beggars can't be choosers. She's lucky to be alive.
Yep.
Well, we did say we'd put her ashore with 50 gold, and as long as there's enough solid ground underneath her to count as shore, then perhaps that is for the best. We've certainly got plenty of rations we can send her off with. And
And she looks like the survival sort.
Not
Alright,
even.
so we
not
got
even.
Elizabeth.
Okay, so
So she can't
Mongo
cause any problems for us if she's out there. Go ahead, Mongo.
Mongo throws his little box out into the water and says, "Geet!" And it turns into a small boat. And get in the boat. I'll take you to the shore. And Mongo taxis her out and drops her off.
Word.
Unless anybody wanted to talk to her.
No. I don't really think I trust her, but also...
She doesn't have a boat to get back.
And she's far enough away from the port to not rat us out.
Well, and not only that. like,
Well, and she wouldn't go back to the port anyway.
yeah, she's kind of on the lam from the Merchants Guild.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but if she gets caught because she's somewhat
Stupid.
defenseless. Yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
I mean, yeah,
Okay,
totally.
cool
I think Reggie gave her I think Reggie gave her a healing potion to go off with her just in case.
Okay, one of the cheap ones.
Oh yeah.
She can't have that many hit points. Like, come on.
Alright, so we're all secure and head to the port. We'll leave Joseph behind with the ship.
Okay. So, who's going to be piloting the Hydra's breath for the last leg into Grand Rock?
I
Mongo.
vote Mongo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I should be piloting it. I think I should be running the sails.
Well, I was gonna say Reggie should pilot, Mongo should do the heavy lifting, and then tell us what we need to do to help him out, while Reggie tells us which direction to head in, because Reggie is a learned goblin. Like, you gotta know how to read a map, right?
Well, and also
Well,
I mean, not totally spoil the surprise for you, but piloting the ship is
Physical work.
no, piloting isn't that physical. Running the sails.
No, piloting. Yeah, that's why I want Mongo to do it.
Yeah, piloting is more mental.
well, how hard could it possibly be? Cracked knuckles.
There you go.
Sorry, I'm looking up exactly what skill it is. Give me an intelligence check. Excuse me.
15.
15. Okay. You managed to pilot the ship well enough to follow the horse siren into port.
Hooray!
They're doing most of the navigating and heavy lifting, and you're basically just sailing up the coastline. Now roll me a dexterity check.
Me again.
Yes.
Natural one.
So you sail into port and crash into the dock.
My, that was easy, wasn't it? I don't
And,
know
like-
why they paid people to do this.
And a few workers like fall off the dock as it like shifts and sways and some pylons break. And
Oh, sorry
see-
about that.
you see the harbor master, a gnome, wearing mostly like traditional sailor's clothes, but like a really fancy hat. Like the big brim and a giant feather that's almost as tall as he is. Looks like it probably came out of like a peacock tail. And he comes running up, and as you guys are tying onto what's left of the dock, he starts shouting and screaming at you. And he looks
Sorry about that.
he looks really
I just couldn't find the brakes.
and Captain Harold and his crew are over on the horse siren at a different dock, just shaking their heads.
How much trouble am I in for destroying the dock?
It's probably going to be a hefty fine, and it definitely won't ingratiate you with the harbor master. However, it might prove a point to some sailors standing around that you are looking to hire someone.
Righto, who thinks they can do that one better? Yes. Raise your hands.
Everybody in the port raises their hands.
Smashing. Who wants a job?
Literally,
Yes.
like there's a little old dwarf lady disembarking from a passenger ship, and she kind of like turns around and shakily raises her hand.
Right. Looks like we found our new pilot. Madam,
Yes, this is going to go over poorly. All right, everyone. Well, here we are. Let's see, I never did
Part of
anything
me
for you. We're
really-
still alive.
Part of me really hopes that you hire a 300-year-old dwarf lady to pilot this ship.
Me too. Well, that's up to you, Rob. You control everybody who isn't us, so you control who signs up.
That's true. It's very true.
Pick your
my
voices
world.
wisely.
Yeah, her name is going to be Betty Whitestone.
Nice.
Okay. Looks like we found our pilot, everyone. This is fantastic.
No, not please don't. She can come in later for something else.
Azilla is played by Lynn. Brynox is played by Bryson. Harlequina is played by Anna. Mongo is played by Emily. Reginald is played by Zach. And the DM is Rob.
You whippersnappers!
Oh, that was great. Yeah, let's
Hoist
pick that
the
up.
sails, motherfuckers!
Hey everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for this arc of Petrolith. We all really enjoyed making it. Our next arc coming out on Thursday is Thar Duking around. The gang has made it to Thar Duk. They have hit port, literally, and they're ready to start their shenanigans there. So stay with us and we'll see you Thursday.